All right, so Chris is updating. He's making Russ's thing, and then
Is Russ in charge of the live chat, or is he in charge of grading? Give him a task. Just kidding.
Russ is in charge of the chat and grading. Chris is in charge of music and witty banter.
Joe's in charge of looking good.
Oh, that's Ida. All right, I think we're getting
It's a joint effort.
I think you gotta close those.
Close these? This is how we did it last time.
Come on.
Oh, I just want to see that.
Google Forms,
Oh, yeah, sure.
No.
Copy.
Oh, there's a view, huh? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, there you go. Nice. Is someone testing the live stream?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Are you drinking anything?
Sweet. I gotta go get set up too. This is not where I'm gonna broadcast from. Yeah.
Russ, are you gonna join us?
Okay.
Let's see, chatting with the old Apto folks. We're missing the witty banter, man.
Lazy bastard.
That's right. Actually, this is good. Or maybe this is his April Fool's joke. You know, he's just going to do this.
Come on. Fucking Forms.
Hey, how's my volume? Is it pretty really quick? Is this better or better?
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
I can't get Google Forms to let me delete a question.
Dang.
For some reason.
Russ, you're kind of coming through now.
Is the audio okay?
Yeah, the audio's good. Chris, if you could start with the music.
You want me to start?
Yeah, I mean, again, we're not going to start till 10 after the bottom of the hour. You know, so 7:40, but
How's the volume?
I like it. All right.
Okay.
Are you doing music, Chris?
Unless you had any preference, I just
I
started with something.
have no preferences.
We'll go mute on the movie round. Nice. Just stick that sucker right there. Can you do the moderating? Oh, YouTube?
Just closing down some other things.
Shut it down, Chris.
Shut it down?
I feel like I didn't.
No, that's joking.
So.
Come on. Something work.
All right. Is it coming through? Can you see the...
Oh, Joe, did you change it to plot twist?
Yes.
Thank you. And plot twist works, right?
Yeah, totally. It's great.
I like that better.
Oh, man. That's a good round, Russ.
What the fuck?
I always change it to 8th grade or something else. Anyways, Chris, go ahead. Sorry.
I literally can't. It won't let me delete the wagers. Like I recreated my answer sheet and it won't let me get rid of them. Does anybody know how to do this in Google Forms? I'm
Share your screen.
want to bust my head against a wall here.
To delete one? I can. Yeah, we can certainly do that. Show your screen and we can go through it.
You seen it?
Yeah.
So I duplicated the one I made for Jeopardy, and now I'm trying to get rid of the wager.
Don't you gotta go
I'm like-
to the right-hand side where it shows you the hamburger or whatever?
The 3 dots.
Do you have those?
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that up top. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
click
weird.
on the thing in the middle. Where's that?
What
to
thing?
Move it up and down.
Like this is what I've been trying to click. Like that should be where I can, copy a question.
Did you copy it
But it won't let me
from? You copied it from one of yours. There's the header. So
Yeah.
What?
You know,
I don't
when
understand
copied
why-
it, I wasn't able to do it. I had to just make my own.
Oh.
That's so frustrating.
Maybe it's because it's in my folder or something like that.
But it's from one that I created. I don't understand. Oh, come on.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
If I send this to you guys, I don't know if it's just my machine too. Maybe if I send this to you guys, you can see if it lets you do anything.
Sure.
Come on.
Yeah, send it to us and we'll play with it.
I'm trying. It's not doing anything.
Weird feeling.
This is a pretty bad April Fool's joke, Chris.
Hey, I agree.
No, we can. Let's see. Russ, why don't you take it on? You make your own.
Oh shit!
No, I didn't.
I added round 1 answer sheet to the chat. I thought we were ready to go.
For an answer sheet, you mean?
Yeah, to make your own answer sheet here in this Google Forms folder.
The Google form. I was just trying to recreate my Google form, but
What's the folder, by the way? Sorry.
I have a program that emailed it to you.
let me get one more shot.
Yeah, I see emails. I just don't see the I see your form, but not a folder.
Yeah, only you can see all of those. We can't see all of those.
Oh, wait. Okay, for whatever reason, it's finally let me do something. Okay, I think I've got it. Russ, no need to worry about the answer sheet.
Should be everything.
Right.
That's the most permissions I can give.
Right, but I think when I go into forms, I can't see that.
All right. Well, Chris is on the way.
It's finally responding. Okay, and then let me just change this to short answer. Okay, 6 questions, short answer, plot twists, and
Russ, how's everyone at Apto doing? The old Apto.
Good, I guess. Good.
Well, I guess I can see all of
Oh, Colleen is sick.
Like sick with the sick.
Yeah, like the. Yeah, my questions are literally, what movie is this? What movie is this? What movie is this? It's all the same.
just include the link.
Short answer.
Yeah, there's no. It's gonna be tough for auto grading. Russ is just gonna have to.
I think for any of those, like mine that are short answer, I'm just going to wait till they're all in, export them to a Google Sheet, and then just go column by column and grade
Okay,
them pretty
so is
quick.
this
I mean,
That's fine. So
yeah, I don't think it'll be.
this here, this is the form for Russ's round.
That's the form for Russ's round.
Okay.
It's going to be difficult for you to save into there because you can't get out of the live. You're in the live stream.
You're right. I'm just gonna text it to you real quick. Or yeah, just text
Email
it to
it
you.
to me. Email it to me.
You guys look so nice. Ida, you look beautiful. I'm wearing a hat and a t-shirt, so.
This is what I'm wearing.
You look like a hoodlum, honestly.
I think I look how I feel. So there's some
man.
honesty in that.
Do you not feel great? I like your hair's got some good things going on right now. It's like a little bit.
Does it?
Round two.
No,
What's going on?
it's not that I don't feel bad. It's just like I don't feel any overwhelming anything. So
Yeah.
I think that's kind of this.
Well,
the
you
flaw.
look terrible. That's a joke there. In a
You
private
guys
chat.
didn't notice that I actually
Yeah.
did do something to my hair myself the other night, so I'm hoping that's a good sign.
I see it. I see it. I can't see the details. I'm sure the
It's
details.
because
suck.
this was a little bit of maintenance, yeah, just to keep me from looking haggard. But I have a handheld mirror coming in. That's when the real cleanup begins.
I have one of
I
those.
bet you
Yeah. If you look like
self-cut
Merle
is
Haggard,
fine.
you'd be awesome, though. Honestly,
Yeah.
I smell Merle Haggard.
If I look like Merle Haggard,
Yeah.
Merle Haggerty. Merle.
is it Merle?
Merle. That's a
Merle
name.
It is Haggerty.
That's a name I should hate, but I
Okay.
don't. I like Merle. That's a weird one.
This guy's an old prick.
And I'm like,
Yeah, it doesn't come tripping.
I'm
me
gonna get
up
the
the
live
tongue.
stream up so we can watch for chat. Should I start music?
Yes, please. And welcome to anybody with the live stream. We're going to start in about 10 minutes here. Just waiting for everybody to get on. We'll do some intros. We'll kind of go into it slowly here, point you in the right direction. We'll get started soon.
Oh, we're live, huh? Hey, everybody.
Want to get the live stream up too.
Mine doesn't
Oh,
have
Beastie
the,
Boys, huh?
alcohol on it.
Going to let the beat drop.
Round two. Who's round one?
Come on.
Oh shit! I fucked it up. I need to go.
Careful if you step up.
Ooh, that's a good one, Chris.
I thought this was
Root Down.
You like
That's
it?
one of their best.
I need you to
Yeah, they're like listening to the Root Down EP or
We'll
LP.
just do it here. This will be easy. There's round one.
I got a couple Snow the Product songs on here too. In the quarantine one.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, she had some cake in there.
I thought that was great. By the way, what
It was a great
better
round.
name is there for any instrument than vibroslap? Like, that's just like, you have the onomatopoeia in it. That's like calling a trumpet like a toot-tooter, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's a joke here that I'm building to that I don't have a punchline for. It's like calling a clarinet a virgin till you're 30 or something. I don't know.
Didn't you play clarinet, Joe?
No.
All right, I gotta get a drink. Be right back.
I did not. Russ, I've been jonesing for the drum set, but I'm feeling like it's hard to get it
I
right.
played 3 times today.
Can you mail it to me? Is that possible? You just like FedEx me the drum set, even just 3 pieces, the kick, the snare, the hi hat.
How do I get this in here? It's not letting me like put it.
USPS.
Oh, I don't. Go to I think the palette because then it looks like the background.
Oh, man. Wake up.
Oh, crap.
Are we live?
All right, folks, join in. We're gonna start in 9 minutes.
9
Get
minutes.
all this set up. If you have a laptop, that's perfect. Get the laptop set up. Maybe another device like a phone. That'd be great because we're gonna have what's going on here on one screen, and maybe you put on the answers on a smaller screen. That's ideal. Ah, Chris is back.
Dun, dun,
Just
dun.
picking up on the mic before.
I'm gonna do some really nice.
Are you doing an unboxing video?
Yeah, give me one second.
No, I'm just gonna get
Chris, is
some.
that a J in your ear? What's going on with this? Or is that just a small screen? No, it's a pen. You guys seen the, that's on a 10 barrel box. That's nice. You guys ever seen what they, what Bob Dylan used to play the harmonica on? It was like a metal band that comes across and they hold a little harmonica here. Russ, that kind of looks like what you got the microphone going on with, like the little...
I do. Yeah, it's like what's his face? Not Seeger. Neil Young wears one of those things once in a while.
harmonica harness, I guess. All right, we're going to start in
I'm
7
gonna change
minutes.
my audio.
Hello to all those
I'll
joining.
test.
Post in the chat if you want. We're going to start in 7 minutes.
Hey, I just changed my microphone. Does this sound good? Does it sound clear?
Do your NPR voice.
Do I sound too loud?
What?
Welcome back to what is the one from Parks and Rec?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not
Or
Oh,
it's
Parks
Dan
and Rec.
Caponetta.
Yeah, Parks and Rec, NPR.
Yeah, that's a great nerd. Hi, everybody who's already on.
Got folks chatting in. Put in the chat there in the live stream.
Is his name Dury Merbles?
Chat now.
Dury Merbles is the host of Thoughts for Your Thoughts on WVYS, Wamahoke County Public Radio.
Keep going with your Parks and Rec intro, Russ. I like it.
And welcome back. The Trebek'n Call Trivia brought to you by 10 Barrel Brewing Co. in Denver, Colorado. No, for real, does this sound okay? Because I just changed my mic and it's like right up on my grill, so I want to make sure that's okay.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it like, was it better before? Is it echoey?
I don't remember what it sounded like before.
You wouldn't, Chris?
I mean, your
Yeah,
voice sounds
that's-
awful, but that's just how your voice sounds.
Yeah, that's true. I'm going to repeat
Yeah.
that one.
All right, we're 5 minutes away from playing.
Irrefutable.
Let's just do a quick rundown. So we're going to have answers and questions here on the screen. We're going to post 4 Google Forms. They're in the chat right now. Number 1's in the chat right now. It's also in the info section on the channel, so you can get it there. But open that up maybe on your phone. Keep this on one of the screens if you can. That's probably the best way to play. A little 2-screen solution going on. Russ, what are you drinking? Which one you got?
Yeah, I went over to 10 Barrel today, and good news, 10 Barrel is both doing their food, which objectively speaking, again, the best brew pub food in all of Denver. Where I'm not just saying that, I think it's great. They have the best nachos. Also, they are doing beer, so you just got to ring the doorbell. And I got Profuse Juice, and this is a hazy IPA. And in typical 10 Barrel style, they have some gnarly dude getting the gnar on. This guy's surfing. Clearly not a Denver-inspired beer, but in addition to that, this is a new one too. I got also Smash. It's a passion fruit wheat ale, 4.7 ABV.
Oh, nice.
That does sound good.
There you go.
That? Chris, you ventured outside at all?
Russ, you have all the makings of an Instagram influencer, the way you told that well.
Did I? Oh, good.
Instagram with more than like 5,000 followers is apparently a brand ambassador now.
Sounds made up.
What do you think we're
So,
doing, Chris? We're just trying to
Russ,
get you the
come back
10-barrel.
when you have some free samples of Bang for us.
Yeah.
Oh, I got free samples of Bang, all right.
We're just trying to get in the 10-barrel mafia. That's all we're doing, Chris.
Is there a mafia there? I always thought that place. I'm joking. If you're on from 10 Barrel, I don't think that. Although Sarah, she's a bit mafia-esque.
Yeah, she seems like an underboss. You know, not
Kind of has a Coppola thing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and somebody joining
I
from
mean,
Milwaukee.
the actors of Coppola's
What?
play, not the
Hi,
Coppola's
Katie
actually
from
are in real
Milwaukee.
life.
We have someone from Milwaukee. That's awesome. We're going to start in 2 minutes. Wow. That's cool.
Yeah,
Milwaukee.
I almost feel
Been
like
there.
wherever you are, feel free
someone
to say
furthest
hi in the
away.
comments
Yeah.
or in the chat.
Yeah, from where? Yeah.
Katie. Katie from Milwaukee, welcome. Well, Summerfest, Marquette, you know, all those good things. Dairy Mondays. Thoughts for your thoughts.
Like, whoever's furthest away, I think we should give them, like, some kind of prize, you know? Like a great, like $5 Greyhound gift card. Is
Oh,
anybody ever
here
taken
it
a
is. It
Greyhound?
says,
Am I the only one?
welcome to Thoughts for Your Thoughts. I'm Derry Merble, filling in for David Parker, who took off for 8 months to study the migration patterns of our nation's squirrels. We've not seen him since. It is the Thoughts for Your Thoughts, the NPR parody on Parks and Rec, which just feels appropriate.
I need some. What's the jazz on jazz on jazz? What was that special theme day they did where it's like Miles Davis and like some one other artist played on top of each other? I feel like Katie and Jesse, you would know this.
I'm going to bing that right now.
All right, we're going to start with 1 minute. If you can, pull up the Google Forms as well. We're going to go through the content here on the screen you see now on the live stream. And you're going to play live.
Yeah, if you were staring at the YouTube live stream, just look to your bottom right. There's a link in the chat with the round 1 answer sheet.
Has anyone else been on a Greyhound bus? Am I the only one?
I've seen one.
Yeah.
Wait, are you asking, have you ever been on one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been on one. I took an overnight from New Haven, Connecticut to Washington, D.C. that was like 4 hours late.
Oh.
Dang.
Missed a job interview.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
That's all right. I'm sure they're lined up. Coming from New Haven, Connecticut,
All right.
you had plenty
It's
of
10
those.
after. We're going to get started now. Here we go. Wednesday Night Trivia. Your host tonight, Joey, Ida. Right there is Chris. And down below, that's Russ. How do you play?
There's only one way to start this show, though, Joe. Hey, all you cool cats and kittens, coming to you live for Wednesday Night Trivia.
That's good.
Take it away.
Yeah. You little Wolfman Jack. All right. No cheating. Honor system. I mean, it's going to be super easy to cheat. You can, but please don't. It's best if you don't. Don't call out the answers. Don't chat the answers. Put it in the Google form. That's how we play. You're just going to ruin it for folks if you put it in the chat. And we will grade them at the end, or after round 3 and then after round 4. And if you have an appeal, let us know in the chat after. But we will be the arbiters of those scores. How we play is 4 rounds of 6 questions apiece, 1 point for each correct answer. You're going to put those in the Google form. Round 1 is there in the chat, so pick that up right now. And the bonus points may be available, so be on the lookout for those. Am I showing my screen?
You are.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, perfect. Chris, I'm not sure what you're talking about, but let me know. Rounds. Number 1 is Say What. Number 2, Plot Twist Cinema. 3 is Player's Choice every week. Round 3 was chosen by 3rd place last week, and that's acupuncture. And 4th is April Fooled. So let's start soon. Prizes are $20 gift card for 1st place, $10 for 2nd place, and 3rd place gets to pick round 3 for next week. All right? So round 1, Say What. So again, you're going to put these answers in the Google form in the chat. So pick that up. And here we go. Say What, number 1. Great minds discuss great ideas. Average minds discuss events. Small minds discuss people. This was a quote by which historical luminary? Albert Einstein, Eleanor Roosevelt, Oprah, or Deepak Chopra?
Ooh.
Wow. Chris, where's that music?
Deepak.
I just dropped it out
Oprah.
for.
You know, I like
Well, we're getting settled.
when we do it in this view, it tells you, like, are you sure you spelled that right? Like, is that Deepak Chopra? Is that right? Yeah, that's right. It's because you don't recognize it.
You know, I never, for some reason, got the rhyme between him and Oprah before. But have we ever seen them in the same place at the same time?
Oh, good. Yeah.
Good call.
So how's the Dalai Lama it's kind of like the Pope, right? Like they just know a child comes out of the wilderness or something, and they're like, "This is it," or something like they know the next Dalai Lama somehow. It's like those monks, but I don't know what that process looks like. Clearly, we don't either.
I have no opinions on the process. I'm sure it's down to a science.
Okay, and so this is A, B, C, D in that order. Say What, number 2. This exclamation ended his campaign in 2004. If you can go on mute there with the music for a second. Was it Howard Dean, John Edwards, Barry
Here we
Sanders,
go. Good.
Sanders, or John Kerry? Which here it is again. And one more time for good measure.
Conservatively, what percentage of Americans do you think use that as a ringtone in like 2004, 2005, right? Like back when you had to make an effort to get something as your ringtone.
Oh, conservatively, huh?
I mean, maybe a bad choice considering the politicians on screen there, but
So put that in the Google form number 2. You're going to submit at the end of the round. One more time. All
It's
right,
still so
Say
good.
What number 3. It's like deja vu all over again. This was said by Doris Day, Yogi Berra, Doc Emmett Brown from Back to the Future, or Trump and Putin. All right, back with the music. Thanks for the pause there, DJ.
Pregnant pause, you know.
Yeah, that's right. It's our
coming up.
abbreviation,
Can you hear it?
BTTF, like everyone just
Yeah.
knows. Russ, if I put BTTF, you knew what that was, right?
BTTF? I don't know, but I'm thinking about Oprah still. I was thinking about Billy on the Street, and he had Rashida Jones on, and they said Oprah Jamas. They want to come out with a line of new pajamas called Oprah Jamas, because Oprah used to walk around Rashida Jones's house in her pajamas.
Oh.
That's what I've been thinking about. So my brain.
How long ago did this?
For acronyms.
How long ago did this happen, Russ? Like, is this clip been playing in your head for years, or was this like this week?
It's about a month and a half now, but it just you guys mentioned Oprah and Deepak Chopra, and of course I thought of Oprah Jamas. So.
All right, Say What
Yeah.
number 4, gentacular. That's the word, and what does it mean? It means one of these things. It means pertaining to breakfast, about stealing as to profit, cold weather, meaning you need layers, or underwhelming, not whelmed. One of these 4 is the definition of gentacular.
One of these 4 is not like okay.
No,
good.
sorry, Jen. It's not. That's not one of them. No.
Just being an awesome Jennifer.
I feel like
Now-
your sister
now-
does that.
Joe, did you know this word coming in, or was this the fruit of the labor of creating this round, and you now have this in your vocabulary?
Yeah, I've used it. Every day now? Yeah. No, I haven't used it, but I didn't know
Did
it
you?
before. No.
It's not obnoxious at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I used to be one of
Sounds
those
like
people that would like correct people's grammar. That's a bad look.
I remember that.
When you were 29, playing the clarinet, right?
I would have the clarinet in my hand. All right, here we go. Gentacular number 5. All right, this one's great. I love this one. So, during an award ceremony, I think it was the Grammys, John Travolta butchered Idina Menzel so badly that it's infamous. He said one of the following. Did he say Adele
Yes.
Dazeem, Adele Feshmiz, Mina Manina, or Elron Habiz? Which one is it? We're going to play the clip.
You can
During the answers, we're going to play the clip and Travolta via some people's names. So,
Yes.
that is so good because that's generated so many memes, honestly. And I can watch that over and over again because it's one of those things that you can watch just the 5-second segment of him doing that multiple times. It's one of those things that it's a bell curve, right? It's a good bell curve. It gets funnier probably the 5th time, then probably about the 10th time it drops off pretty steeply, but
yeah, it's good.
it's a good one.
It's real good.
Just because watching his face with the whole thing too,
I
right?
want to know. I want to know.
He's like,
I'm
oh,
doing it right
yeah, I didn't
now.
recite this at all.
And does he know he did wrong? I
Yeah.
don't remember the moment live.
All right, we're going to go through those. And then Say What number 6. JFK said, Ich bin ein Berliner. And that means either I like where we are going, Berlin, or I am a citizen of Berlin, or I dream of many blimps, or I am a donut.
I asked this question about him 2 months ago, actually. So, if you are a regular at 10 Barrel, make us proud.
And he said it in a thick Massachusetts accent.
Of course,
Of course.
Oh, can we hear that?
thick German Massachusetts accent.
Where are you saying JFK did or Russ did?
Yeah, Russ, you want to go ahead? You want to say Ich bin ein Berliner as JFK?
Oh God, that's tough.
Come on.
Ich bin ein Berliner. It was JFK.
Horrible. Come on.
We choose
I don't
not
think you
to-
were really
I gotta
channeling.
tune it.
Do
I gotta
Mayor
tune it.
Quimby. Come on. You guys go over the top.
We choose not to go to the to the moon.
And the other thing?
Because it's easy, because it's hard. I don't know.
That was
You
need to do your warm ups.
All right.
Missed it.
Okay. Again, if you want to play, you put this on one screen. You go to the chat, you get that up on another screen maybe, and you put the Google form in. That's what you're going to input here. All right, and we're going to do a recap. 1 round recap. Yeah. We're going to do about 20 seconds on each slide. And then submit your answer sheet whenever you need to, whenever you can. Again, these are A, B, C, D.
You trump the music here.
We should put in the notes, like, go to Google form on the channel.
Oh, people were having questions about how they find us if they don't have the link. Like, and so you
And I'm talking about the dirt and so first. Only first my city is vultures. I mean, back before I could afford
Shit, Funk is coming back with Chance the Rapper. I saw that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in format.
I don't know. Maybe because they both got commas. Maybe because my older bro was on
That's new.
Apparently, he's doing a reboot, revamp, whatever, revival of the show Punked, the old Ashton Kutcher prank show.
Yeah.
Very fitting that we would think of this on this, the national holiday of practical jokes, April 1st.
Yeah. First, what I didn't really cruise the internet quite yet. If someone in the chat section has any, what's the best April Fool's joke you've seen today, or better yet, what's the best one you pulled if you pulled any? If you saw anybody, honestly, I should tell my mom something really ridiculous right now. Actually, let's just all text my mom together. What should I tell my mother for an April Fool's joke?
I think you should give your mom's number out right now.
And we'll all call her.
We'll all text her.
Let's all call my mom.
But we'll do nice stuff, like Russ is not sick with COVID. He's fine. You know.
We can call and pretend like we're a detective, and like we've got some questions. Do you know a Russell?
Yeah. Would you like that?
We'll let you talk to her, Ida. Oh, mom, here's my mom's number. Anybody, you know, let's all text my mom right now. This is a trustworthy
That's what I'm talking about.
What, call her a fool? What would we do?
All right, I don't even care. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna give you my mom's number right now. What's your phone? For Sandy Johnson, if you're on, you can text my mom. She likes you.
We'll text Sandy Duncan.
Oh, you know what's funny when you like, what's the last thing you sent your mother in a text? Literally, the last thing I sent my mom in a text was this scene from from Silence of the Lambs.
What?
Wow.
That's
when El Lazarus and the horses.
You just like send it to her contact free every couple of weeks or something.
Yeah.
Nice.
She sent me something, and that's what it reminded me of. So I sent her that, and she never responded. So
That's crazy, Russ.
Yeah.
you know,
All right, here we go. Last call for answers. There's about a 30-second lag here.
There
Last
you
call
go,
for
Andy. I
answers.
see
Turn them
847.
in. We're going to do answers here. And let that go for about 30 seconds.
445-7926. 847-445-7926. Sandy. Andy, I know you remember that already because you have the best memory.
Okay, I'm going full screen for this, for the answers.
Do it.
Yeah, there we go. Who said this? That is Eleanor Roosevelt. This exclamation ended someone's campaign in 2004. Yeah, that is Howard Dean. Howard Dean ended his career, basically. He's not going to be climbing the political ladder any further after that. It's like deja vu all over again. A secret hidden genius there in Yogi Berra. Gentacular means... Which one do you think? Which one?
Oh gosh.
It's tough.
Feel like maybe cold weather. I don't know. I'm bad at this.
This one's tough. There's no way you can really figure it out. Pertaining to breakfast.
What?
Now you know, yeah.
Oh, then bring that back to brunch.
There you go. John Travolta was trying to say Idina Menzel. He said Adele Dazeem.
Adele Dazeem.
Yeah, we're gonna go.
Pretty close.
Yeah, I mean,
Pretty
close enough,
close.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
we're going to that.
You
right
didn't
now.
try. You didn't try at all. You're just like, you know what? I'll read this when I get up there.
Yeah,
It's a variation of what he would say for someone else's name.
we're gonna go take a look at that butchery right now because it's worth it.
Gorgeously empowering song, Let It Go, from the Oscar-winning animated movie Frozen. Please welcome the wickedly talented one and only Adele Dazeem.
He's looking down, like, he knows he's screwed up.
Gorgeously empowering song.
So bad. All right, and then you can go
My
Travoltify your name.
low-key favorite part of that is when he says, like, wickedly in a very interesting way.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna Travoltify some people's names here. So let's start with Chris. Chris, yours is gonna be a nightmare.
Isn't it already?
What is it?
Craig Gonzalez.
Oh, do you have a generator?
Better.
Yeah.
It's better.
All right, Russ, let's do you. All right, if you Ross Dizon. That's pretty good. I like that.
What is it?
Ross Dizon.
Ross is on. Go for that.
Jose PH. Jonah Nelsim. All right, I'm going to do my dad. I think this is pretty good. My dad's name is...
Well, it's gonna be the same last name.
Yeah, same last name. Luke Nelsim.
Enter your name in the chat if you have chat available, if you want us to Travoltify your name.
Chris, any other suggestions here?
Well, I know we got two people at least who are unable to get the chat working. Why don't we go with Katie Emmerling?
All right, Katie Emmerling.
Emerling?
Come on down.
Spell it phonetically.
Yeah. Kelsey Migler. Migler.
The wonderfully talented Kelsey Migler. Hey, Joe, I got to tell you, a new study found that men with beards are more attractive than men without beards, something that you, Ida, and I have talked about many times, hence the reason I shaved mine now. More great work from the University of Bob Seger.
Is that an accredited institution?
Monica
I think
Schaefer.
so.
Okay, Joe.
Great.
Yeah, Monica Schaefer. Good. We got
Russ,
him on
this
the
is
chat.
your mom's name now. Sunny Dizon. Monica Schaefer. Yeah, we'll do Monica, of course. Maybe two Fs.
Hi, Monica. Thanks for joining again.
The wickedly talented Matilda Gardner.
Oh, Sonny Dizon's my mom. That's what it is, okay. The wickedly talented. What was Monica's name?
God. All right. Last call. Anyone else to Travoltify?
Let's see. I think
You can also probably send out the link if anybody, you get to thinking this later tonight, chuckling to yourself like, wish I'd asked about my dog's name.
Yeah. Flower. We'll do Chris's dog, Flower.
Sure.
Frazier. All right, that's enough of that.
Breaking news, Joe. 42-year-old Richard Swanson set out to dribble a soccer ball from Seattle to Brazil, but got hit by a car in Oregon and died. Sad news. Well, at least he got to die doing what he loved, dribbling a soccer ball in traffic.
All right, and say what, number 6? JFK said, Ich bin ein Berliner. A lot of people think that was incorrect, saying I am a donut, because a Berliner is also a type of donut. But he said it correctly, actually. It's I am a citizen of Berlin. So the the myth that he said it incorrect is incorrect. Urban legend. He did actually say it. Ich bin ein Berliner. That's a little. I mean, like.
I did go with that.
Yeah.
No, it
Alright.
wasn't good though.
No, not good. Here we go. Yeah, I think I'm sharing the screen. Let's do that. Okay. All right, round 2 is Russ's round. Russ at the bottom of the screen there, doing plot twists. So take it away, Russ.
All right, so hello. And we're back. This is Plot Twist Cinema. There's 6 questions. It's really easy. I'm going to show a movie clip, and you're going to tell me the exact movie. That's it. I felt like I was going to say more. I felt like I wanted to say more, but I realized I had nothing else to say. The reason I say exact movie is because, maybe it's a movie from a series, and that series might have multiple films. And, of course, I want you just to simply say the one that it is. Very specifically, right? Not just like the franchise itself. So, with that, Joe, you can go full screen if you'd like. But I think you can all hear it fine, right?
Yeah,
so let's kick this off. Movie number 1. Again, give me the exact movie, what this is. You can already see a still there. So you have ideas. Here we go. What is that movie? Oh, you are playing.
You son of a bitch, Russ.
All right. Russ, any set up for number 2?
Also, round 2 answer sheet is in the chat.
And if people are confused, Russ, about, those clips seem disconnected from each other, which one do I put in the answer sheet? What would you tell them?
Always going with the first movie shown here, please. It's the first one. If they seem like 2 movies to you, which if you don't know the 2 movies, we'll figure that out eventually here. But it's the first thing you see. Give me the movie, the exact name of the movie you see there. I'm behind that. Thanks. I'm watching 2 screens, so forgive me. I should be watching the one.
That line, bro. It's good. Stay on that
All
one.
right.
Stay on that one.
Bean, are you confused? First movie.
Lord the Bit Man. I think he's one of them. Garbage Man? Negative. Oh, Jesus. He's reaching for something. Oh, God, he's got a gun. He's got a gun. Stay on the line. He's got a gun. Do not deviate. Okay, there he goes. Here he goes. Tell grab team A, go. He's still talking with somebody. Getting instructions. Jimmy, give me the conversation. Lock the box. Lock the box. Moving. Grab team.
Also, you need volume too, right? Okay.
I'm sensing a theme in this round, perhaps.
What movie was that first movie? The exact movie that you saw. What was that second movie there? And Joe, don't go until I say go on these things because I'm just trying to see how the performance is on the old YouTube live thing. So I'm a little bit off here. Again, what is the first scene? The movie of that first scene you saw there. Number 3, here we go. Play it, Joe.
Trust in me when I say
Even knowing it's coming, the sound and the way that scene plays out it's hard not to laugh.
All right, try and bring up the Google form. Put it in the Google form. All right, Russ, any setup for number 4 here?
Yeah, oddly, I think I almost had 3 Julia Stiles movies in this, and that was all coincidental.
Whoa.
I had no plan for that, but we'll see. I don't think I put a 3rd Julia Stiles, but I thought about it. Anyways, here we go. Number 4, plot twist cinema, black and white. It's going back.
With Julia Stiles.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Play it, Joe.
To take them dive for the short end of money. Well, I had some bets down for you. You saw some money. You don't understand. I could have had class. I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody. Instead of a bum, which is what I am. Let's face it.
Again, there's a few as a bell curve, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see a little bit
questions,
more.
but
What happened?
maybe get 15.
Oh, he was curious. He
Eric!
was. Okay. What a weird choice of
All right, that's fun to watch
big switch.
multiple times over. That is a classic film, by the way. If you've never seen it, are you missing much? I don't know. It's good. It's a good film, but that's a very classic line. It's one of those classic lines in cinema history by one Marlon Brando. Anyways, plot twist cinema number 5. Here we go.
Yeah, that's where we met. But I dropped out though. Yeah, she dropped. Yeah. So where you girls from? Chaska, the sewer. But I went to high school in White Bear Lake. Go Bears.
Sewer.
Okay. I want you to tell me what these fellas look like. Well, the little guy, he was kind of funny looking. In what way? I don't know, just funny looking. Can you be any more specific? I couldn't really say. He wasn't circumcised. Was he funny looking apart from that? Yeah.
Okay. Oh no, what's happening here?
This doesn't look like a movie, Russ.
Yeah,
What's going on?
Going down a kid's falling off a cliff. All right, lastly, as this wraps up, what we're going to get to is the final question of Plot Twist Cinema number 6 is a clip from, obviously, Conan O'Brien, the Conan O'Brien Show, featuring Paul Rudd. This time, for number 6, the answer is the movie clip you see at the end, the second part of this segment here. So, not this opening bit, which is obviously, again, the Conan O'Brien Show, but the movie they show right after this. Go ahead.
But as long as it doesn't give anything away,
I think there's a lot of interest.
Let's show this clip from the final episode of Friends. I didn't see that coming, I have to say.
No, I know.
Didn't see it going that way.
There's a lot of surprises in the last episode. And
Wow.
It was pretty emotional. I mean, as you can see, Matthew Perry was in a wheelchair.
Oh boy, I gotta go.
Right. If that confused any of you, great.
But as long as it doesn't give anything away,
I think there's a lot of interest.
let's show this clip from the final episode of Friends.
want to play that?
All right.
No, I don't have the audio on, so
All right.
that sounds kind of weird. All right, here we go. Sorry. So we'll go through. In fact, I don't. If you need a recap, we're not going to go through all this again. If you specifically want us to show any clip again, please put that in the chat. Otherwise, we're not going to do recaps for these entire things. We can kind of scroll through them if you want to scroll through them for the opening, for just the stills themselves. But again, 1 through 5, looking for the name of the film shown at the opening clip. And for number 6, the final question, it obviously starts off with, again, a Conan O'Brien clip. But the clip that Paul Rudd shows on the show, what is the name of that movie? That movie obviously featured in every single clip before that. So that's the name of the game. If you need to see anything to watch the clip again itself, please say so in the chat. If not, we'll just go through the actual stills. Plot twist number 2 doesn't really show much, nor does a few of them don't show much. But again, if you need it,
I understand we have a couple people not on the chat, so feel free to send a text if there's any one of those clips that you need replayed, and we'll get it up.
Also,
in front of
Katie
you as well.
says that
Otherwise,
she
I'll
knows
reenact
number
it.
3 just on site without having played the clip at all.
That's really good.
Yeah,
I know.
impressive.
You just need a still there. That's a good one. It's that one. It holds a special place in many people's hearts, including mine, actually. Including mine.
I'm also curious if anyone, I'm guessing there's somebody out there who is familiar with this joke, this inside joke that Russ will reveal, but feel free to comment without giving it away if you're familiar with this.
Yeah. Please let us know in the chat as we get going on the answers here, because I'll reveal what the hell is going on for those of you like, what the hell is this? But for those of you who know, no. I always wanted to say that. I don't think I delivered it that great, but I always want to say, for those who know, you know.
Now you know.
All right.
So number 1 had a giant. What's that guy's name? The Rock. Steve Austin. That's not right. Why can't I think of The Rock's name?
Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Former Miami Hurricane.
Is that right? I didn't know that.
He was. Yeah, he did. He played linebacker or defensive end. Well, guys, here we go. Let's go on to the answers for round 2. No comments there, so I trust that everyone got that. Let's talk about what these things are. Oh, the first one. There we go. It is the Scorpion King. It's not the Mummy. It's not the Mummy Returns. It's not the Mummy 2. It's actually called the Scorpion King, which apparently is a what? It's a prequel. I don't know. It's drivel. I've never seen it. If you like it, by all means.
I think you're wrong about this, Russ. I believe this is the Mummy 2.
Really?
This is like they then spin off his own movie after this. Oh gosh, I'm so dorky.
Oh.
Yeah, this is in the Mummy 2.
All right. Well, there you go. Chief amongst the nerds, Chris Gombeski. You didn't already know by his last name. Just corrected me on this. I'm joking, Chris. If you put the Mummy 2, thank you, Chris, for your depth of knowledge on Brendan Fraser films. See, what was that movie he was in with Elizabeth Hurley?
Bedazzled? Or
The
isn't there
Devil.
another one with a monkey in it? Monkey Bone?
Yeah, there you go.
She was the devil. She played the devil.
I'm
No.
gonna look it up.
Yeah, she did. She was the devil, wasn't she? Yeah.
It was probably
Yeah.
It
bedazzled.
was
though.
bedazzled, I think.
They
All
probably.
right. Was that the Mummy 2? Was that scene from the Mummy 2?
I think Chris is right
Yeah.
because
Okay,
in the
I
Scorpion
trust
King,
Chris
he's
on
got
this
like
one.
whole battle sequences.
Or The Mummy Returns, I guess, is the actual title.
Okay.
So if you put either one of those, we'll take
It
it.
is The Mummy Returns. Okay, you're right. But they made a film. They did a spin-off of that because it was so
Bedazzled.
good.
What were we saying?
Bedazzled.
Oh, no.
Anyways, this next film, it was clearly it's a Bourne film. Most of you like that. Was it Identity? Was it Supremacy? Was it Ultimatum? I don't know. It's The Ultimatum. I forgot, actually. I like these movies quite a bit, but they all blend together at some point, right? This is The Bourne Ultimatum. So if you put something else, Too bad. It's there you go. The second one. I clearly did not animate these appropriately. That's 10 things I hate about you. That's Joseph Gordon-Levitt, JGL, if you will. Julia Stiles. Her younger sister didn't go on to do much. And of course, the late great Heath Ledger.
Hey, she
One
was
of the
Alex
better,
Mack.
probably late 1990s. When did 10 Things I Hate About You come out? It's one of the better ones as far as it, holding up. That one holds up nicely. I almost did the last scene when she's like, giving the reading her poem to the class. That's a rough scene. This one was on the waterfront. That's Marlon Brando. I could have been a contender. Could have been somebody. I'm nobody. That's again famous line in cinema. Sometimes those things just because it's an AFI top 10, top 20, top 30, somewhere in the mix. I don't know. That's On the Waterfront, black and white. Marlon Brando, famous line. Number 5, this one is, I'm always surprised by how many people have not seen this film. Mm-hmm. Hopefully you know this one. It's Fargo. Just simply by the accents maybe being spoken. It's got, it holds a place in just pop culture. Yet there's so many people I meet who've never seen this film. So it's a Coen Brothers film. You should see it. It's wonderful. Frances McDormand did in fact win Best Actress in the film, or Best Actor, female leading role. I think it was called Actress back then, but there you go. And then finally, number 6. This is where the whole thing comes into play. It's Mac and Me is the film I played at the end of every single other clip. That is the plot with cinema. What if you don't know about this? But this was the first time it was ever done on Conan. So Conan's got some great guests. Norm Macdonald being one of them. Number 2, I'd say, is Paul Rudd. Every time Paul Rudd goes onto the show, what he does, he brings a clip of something he's working on or something that's coming out. At this point, Paul Rudd didn't have a ton of fame or notoriety. He was, as you remember, he was I think Phoebe's fiance or husband or love interest at the end of Friends. And, he said, I have a clip from the final episode of Friends. You can tell they're kind of like both like, hey, it's not out yet. Of course, we can't show this, but we won't get in trouble. So he shows that. And then every subsequent time he's been on Conan, he actually does bring a clip of Mac and Me. Sometimes he kind of edits it in at the end of what he's actually showing, or he just flat out shows it. Much to Conan's chagrin. I think it's all an act, though, but it's funny every single time he does it. That last film, again, it's a really cheap, shitty knockoff of E.T. It's called Mac and Me. Side note, I saw it in the theater. I did. My mom took me. Next grade, 474457926. Mac and Me in the theater, because we still laugh about that movie. It's a good one. That's a great scene.
It has a very prominent scene filmed at a McDonald's that you would never guess is the result of product placement at all.
Not at all.
Classic movie.
Although that was the end of the film, though, because that kid did, in fact, die when he went off that cliff right there. So It's like E.T. with a little, bit of a twist at the end. The kid dies.
He did.
Moving on to acupuncture. Take it away.
All right, round number 3 is acupuncture. It was chosen by third place winner of last week, Claire. The best part about winning third place is that you get to skew it in your favor the following week so that you can win bigger and better prizes. All right, first up. Number 1, how thick is a typical acupuncture needle? About half a hair's width, 1 human hair, 2 human hair, or 4 human hairs wide? Wide? Yeah.
Yeah.
How thick is a typical acupuncture needle?
Chris,
I couldn't help but notice I'd used thick with a K instead of 2 C's. Is that a typo?
I don't think you want thick with 2 C's acupuncture needles.
I just use it universally now. Is that not correct?
In work emails?
Yeah,
perfect.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever had acupuncture before?
Yeah, who's had acupuncture? I want to hear this. I haven't. Chris, where's our music, man?
Not.
Any acupuncture
I know.
music?
I didn't want to interrupt, but I was going to play something in the back.
DJ, come on. Russ, have you ever had acupuncture?
I've not, but Katie says she doesn't have the answer sheet. We need the ansers for round 3.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
yes.
Oh, let's
yeah.
post it real
Also,
quick.
James says spoiler alert. James Kaiser, thank you. The perennial all-star. James and Sarah, I'm
Hold
sorry. I
up.
know most of you are going to run out and watch Mac and me as a result. I have not had acupuncture, although I will say this, though. The width of my hair is all dependent on the strength of my follicle, which I have many follicles. Obviously, it's average, right?
You have
Some mine are just weak,
follicles.
you know? I have weak follicles.
Follicles?
Male pattern baldness. Good thing.
Hey, Russ, can you,
Is someone grabbing the answer sheet?
if you guys could do that,
I
that'd
can
be
do
great.
it real quick. Hold on.
Okay.
We'll post it in the chat. Hold up. I've not had
Apologies for the
acupuncture,
wait.
but I've read
Thank
that
you for
if
keeping
you
us honest.
believe it works, it works.
There we go.
It's like a
It is
cement.
there now.
That's not true. The World Health Organization now recognizes it as a legitimate form of medical care, and most insurance companies will cover you for it.
Wow, I didn't know that.
It has proven, I think they said something like 250 documented illnesses and ailments that it can treat.
Wow.
All right, number 2. Acupuncture gained popularity in the U.S. after this president visited China. Kennedy, LBJ, Nixon, or Bush number 1?
Oh, this is when Kennedy made that big gaffe when he's talking and tried to say something in Mandarin.
Ich bin ein Acupuncture.
What if Kennedy was just known for going to like different countries and just jacking up some phrase and was like, what the hell is this guy saying?
Ni hao ma.
Yeah, that's his shtick.
That's Mandarin. That's but with a Massachusetts accent, Boston accent.
Every president has to have a shtick, you know?
All right, number 3. Acupuncturists also typically check your blank to assess health. Do they check your tongue, your palms, your temperature, or the whites of your eyes?
Uh-oh.
It's tough.
They lick your palms. That's what they do.
Oh, yeah. And then they lick your
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah.
Except right now, they
They're-
put on a latex and then lick your palm. The latex tongue wrap.
Mhm.
Incidentally, Joe, 2 strangers were arrested for having sex on a plane. How about that, huh? You know who I feel sorry for? The guy in the middle seat.
Normac Russell there. You know. Russell McDonald there.
Just spilled my beer.
That's good stuff. You spilled it. Just like any other trivia night.
It happens.
I'm glad that
Yeah,
Monica's
we're
joining us
joking
2 weeks in a row. That's great. I like seeing that. You know, we usually do this at Tin Barrel in Denver. Monica's one of the hosts. That's awesome. What else is Tin Barrel? We got it in Oregon, Denver.
Oh, I saw it in California, and there was a couple of them now.
Bend, Portland, Seattle, and San Diego. Where is the other one?
Oh,
Is one San Diego? I didn't know that.
I don't know,
That's
actually.
San
I'm
Diego.
just making things
That's a
up.
good city.
I'm just guessing because San Diego is just a hot spot and a
Oh,
hotbed
you're just
for
guessing.
for beer, you know.
Boise.
Also, for those of you in the Midwest, you have
Oh,
someone from Milwaukee and
Diego.
from
Boise.
Chicagoland, as it's known colloquially. Jeez. If you never heard of 10 Barrel, you did now, but look for it at your local fine beverage dealer.
All right, number 4. One of the fathers, I'm going to butcher this real bad, Waichi Sagayama of acupuncture was A, deaf, B, blind, C, had no hands, or D, was 79 years old when he started the practice of acupuncture.
That was tough. That was tough.
Mhm. So how much about acupuncture did you know prior to researching this, Ida?
You know, I had been really sick before, and I had seen an acupuncturist, and so I was familiar with like the procedure, but I didn't really know all of like the quirky facts and history of it. So one good part about trivia is that like I actually learn a lot, not only from the rounds that you guys pick, but from the topics that our winners pick. I learn so much every week.
Yeah, I didn't know this.
All right, number 5. About how many acupuncture points are there on the body? 76, 200, 350, or D, 500?
Good God. I can see any one of those being right.
Chris, if you were gonna give someone acupuncture, what part of the body would you start on? Just as
Oh, I wouldn't.
you wouldn't.
I don't want to get sued.
So one of the questions I cut was like other tools other than metal that were used for needles, and they were like bones and stone and like just crazy, like because the practice is so old, they didn't use metal before, so they were just using all kinds of other naturally found implements.
Anything they had.
Anyway, all right,
Lordy.
up. Number 6. In the U.S., the 5-element theory is generally used. It's the most popular. The 5 elements are earth, wood, fire, water, and A, sun, B, air, C, metal, or D, space.
Now, I noticed that Hart, who is one of the maligned characters in the Captain Planet universe, is not one of the choices.
Right.
It's earth, wind, water, fire, and heart. Right? Did I get 5?
Or funk.
Funk? Was that in like a weird unaired episode?
Well, like earth, wind, and fire, and then like
We're talking about Captain Planet.
you're right.
Like funk has a smell.
Joe
Earth,
hates
I just
wind,
like that
fire.
as a 6th
I
element.
never
Like that's the
understood it.
sequel to the 5th element is funk gets added in.
Yeah, French funk. French
Chris, look at that haircut, man. Looking good. He did it himself, everybody.
I should add some caveats.
But
that,
it looks good. It
Yeah,
just,
Chris
it
looking
It
good.
looks pretty good.
Yeah.
well, that's why I should add some caveats because I don't want to get. I should not get kudos yet. All I did was some maintenance work, kind of on the side.
I'm giving you kudos.
Well, I haven't done like the
Chris,
tear down that is coming, for which I need a handheld mirror. So, who knows how I'll look in a matter of days? Has anyone else resorted to cutting their own hair, trimming it? If so,
I used to cut
put
my
down
own
in the
hair.
comment.
Yeah. Also, Chris, you look so hot right now, though. That Chris Gumbesky is so hot right now.
I was told that I look like I want to get this right because it's a great joke. If there was a meme generator where you send in a picture of your face and there's a button that said quarantine your face, my face is what would get returned.
That's fair.
Quarantine.
I keep asking myself, how many people have to die before we finally do something about dropping pianos?
I know. Like watching cartoons growing up, I thought quicksand was going to be everywhere, but it's not.
That's right. It's a much bigger thing. In fact,
It was in the new
Like
Star
Dynamite?
Wars. How exciting was that?
There was.
Yeah.
One small little spot, and they just happened to hit it. Although
Yeah,
I will
just
say,
like
I
one 4x3 area of that planet was just infested with quicksand.
infested. I love that. I love a 4x3 infestation. Speaking of 4x3 infestations, I grew up near a bog. Now, if you are from the Midwest or places where there is old glacial deposits of random things like moraines and other glacial things, you might know about these things. But we grew up right at a place called the Volo Bog, and apparently it's a really deep, just swampy thing. There's always a fear that there's literally quicksand back there. So that was a real threat. And maybe you know it because John Mulaney told that joke. John Mulaney did in fact grow up in Evanston, Illinois, North Shore of Chicagoland, as they call it colloquially. Joe?
That's where my dad grew up.
So maybe he was fearful of quicksand, not because of cartoons, but also because he grew up in the Midwest. So, side note. Didn't know I had much to say on that topic, did you?
Nope. I have no idea.
Also, please don't cut your own hair. I mean, it looks like you're doing fine. I also cut off all my own hair. But don't do it, people. Just wait.
I feel attacked.
Yeah, Chris, you look
Flower's
good.
not going to cut my hair. What am I supposed to do?
Might be you might be strategically sitting and not turning around.
Oh, Chris has a rat tail, no doubt. Chris has a rat tail.
Well, that's always been there, Joe. That's not coronavirus related.
All right, last up, number 6. Send in your answer sheets so we can get them all accounted for, and we're going to do answers up next.
Russ, you might want to start tabbing the scores.
Oh.
Yeah, you're doing scores.
Okay.
All right. Well, it's not round 1. My bad.
Well,
Typo.
This whole night is ruined.
Ruined.
Round 3, acupuncture number 1 is a typical acupuncture needle is 2 hairs wide. So there is some, I wouldn't call it pain, but you can definitely feel it, which makes sense. As a barber, I get tons of hair splinters, so I am very attuned to how wide a human hair is. It's awful. But an acupuncture needle, I've always been really comfortable. So, yeah, about 2 hairs wide. Number 2, so Nixon actually took a trip to China, and one of his assistants was there and got sick, and decided to look for medical care while he was on his trip, and he recovered really well and had a much better course through his illness. And Nixon was really fascinated about this process, and the guy who was sick came back and wrote about it, and then Nixon talked about it a ton. So that was kind of how it became popular in America, despite being thousands of years old everywhere else.
Good old Nixon, you know?
All right, number 3, acupuncturists also typically check your tongue. Your tongue tells them all kinds of different things. I didn't get into it, so I don't know, so I'm not going to pretend to know. All I know is that when I used to see my acupuncturist, she would be like, you had way too much dairy, which is no surprise at all because I have dairy all the time, every day. But she knew all kinds of stuff. It was really fascinating. Like, they do the texture, the color, if there's any wrinkles on the side, how big it is. I don't know. Don't do that right now, though. Don't practice that.
Classic side wrinkle.
All right, number 4. So this gentleman was actually blind, and so he developed the system of tubes to guide where the needles went, and so they still use this tube apparatus to control the insertion of needles as a result of this, but he did it completely blind. I don't know if he was 79. Pretty sure he wasn't, but he was for sure blind.
Okay.
All right, next up, there are about 350 acupuncture points on the body.
Dang. It's more than bones.
Yeah. How many muscles are there?
Oh,
I think I'd know that. All right, last up, acupuncture number 6. The 5th element is metal. I should have cued in some good metal music. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, we are going to take a scoring break up next for Jeopardy. Jeopardy's always lots of fun. We'll drop the answer sheet in. There's all kinds of special rules for Jeopardy, so stay tuned. We're going to take a little bit of break. We're going to play some music, chat it up a little bit, have a scoring break, and we'll be right back.
Chris, play something. Be right back.
BRB. How are people staying motivated at work? I don't know. I've worked from home before in my life, for like 2 years straight, actually. I had a good setup. I just lack the good setup now. Just don't have like all the monitors, so I get just distracted. So any tips or tricks would be really helpful. Also, if you're on from work, please don't tell Mindy Grissom or Beth Fitzpatrick that I said that. Also, Mindy, if you're on, hey, how you doing? Full disclosure, I tell it all the time.
No music?
It's a little quiet.
Yeah.
It's okay. Take a little break, a little interlude,
Go to the bathroom.
Intermission.
If anyone's wondering why the music went out, it's because I muted myself.
There you go. Classic. If it sounds like I'm being harsh on Chris tonight, I'm not. It's a term of endearment. Chris, I hope you know that.
No.
Side note about Chris and Joe and myself, 2 years ago we started doing 14ers every fall. You know what a 14er is? It's just a mountain that extends beyond 14,000 feet above sea level. There's 52 of them, 54 of them, 56 of them here in Colorado, something like that.
53.
All right.
We're not there.
Ah, there we go. Thank you. Got it now, guys. This is good. Right.
Chris, did you make plot twist cinema? We need access to
Good job. Everybody got 10 things I hate about you. Question 3. Very good job. You've all seen that. Nice job.
Oh, I guess Frost is grading them.
Oh, okay.
Also, was it confirmed, and I should ask this question, Chris, I think you might know this. Was it confirmed that it was the Mummy Returns, or was it the Scorpion King?
It is the Mummy Returns.
Okay.
You are wrong, Russ.
Okay, good. I'm okay with that. You know, I learned from Mike Birbiglia that I don't have to be right all the time. Also, if you can tell me, like, no one actually gave me an indication on this, but I would love to know how many of you were down with the Paul Rudd, Conan O'Brien little bit that's been, again, long running ever since the finale of Friends up until this date. I think more recently, Living with Yourself or his Netflix special where he gets cloned. Plot twist. There you go. Sorry if I ruined that for you, but that's Paul Rudd's newest show. But again, who amongst you were familiar with that long-running gag?
You know the line, second line, Tucci got effective lines, rough edges like a box of checker fries. That's the line, catch the line, American flag, less thoughts, extra lines, stretch the line, skip the line till you know more next line. Yeah, Tucci tuna lunatic, my boonie goes to boonie is run inside the room and kill you and who you roaming with. The Uzi with the booty clip, more than one I'm booty clip.
Well, I like this Streetcar Named Desire. Good guess, not the right answer. But
looking in the mirror trying to figure out.
Debbie from Debbie Does Dallas, not the answer, but thank you for that one, Katie from Milwaukee.
What?
Also, I love a good little team name. Katie from Milwaukee as a guess.
Which one was that a guess for? Which clip?
On the Waterfront.
Wow, I like that.
Also got The Lion King in there, which it's close. Raging Bull, The Contender, a streetcar Named Desire. Solid. 3.
Not bad.
Also, Katie, I love Gumbeski, a memoir. I really suck at this. That was for Fargo.
So here's a question. I was actually recommended Tiger King by a few people on this chat. How many of you guys have consumed it in its entirety so far? Seems hard to miss in terms of pop cultural impact right now.
That's what she said. 4. Sourdough starter. 5. Rose Apothecary.
Rose Apothecary. I like that name. I always forget what those are. What is it, Joe?
What's that?
Apothecary?
It's like a pharmacist.
Yeah. Good name.
Inside. 5. All right.
All right, no, I'm not done yet. I still gotta fix these now.
Russ, we did your round. We scored it. We're just tabulating
Wait,
it. We're
too.
still getting it together. Scores
I got
after
it, too.
round 3 are coming up here soon. Another couple minutes. Dutifully working on it.
Thank you guys for your patience.
Yeah.
So, might as well just mention, we'll go over this in a quick second too, but just to kind of lay the foundation, this is round 4 coming up. It's our last round, and we're going to do something a little bit different. So this is normally like our Jeopardy round, and for this one, we're going to let you wager either 0 points or 4 points for each question. And that wager will could be used against you. So if you wager 4 points and get the question wrong, that's 4 points out of your total. So you could end up with a negative point total for the round. So bear that in mind. We'll flash this on screen in just a second. But as we jump into this, keep that in mind because it's anyone's game out there when we share with you the scores so far.
So if you want to double check, I also just put a comment in that Google sheet for you for the round 2 answers. By the way, there's one perfect score in there, and then 3 that were, actually 4 that were damn near perfect. Katie, homemade sourdough starter, Rose Apothecary, and drinkers of beer inside. I got 5 of 6. We got 6 of 6. It was Kwaki Serpi Niku. Kwapi Serpi Niku. Kwapi Serpi. Oh. Kwapi Serpi Niku.
That's phenomenal.
That is phenomenal. It's the right spelling too, by the way.
Is there actually an official spelling of Kwapi Serpi Niku?
This is the official spelling. It's just
Wow.
been determined right now that this is the official spelling.
It's a lot of great jokes running around that we had no part of tonight. That's a great joke.
This is not a round. This is the scores.
For anyone who may not know, that is referring to a classic Saturday Night Live skit with Chris Farley appearing on a Japanese game show.
Yeah. In fact, more recently, I just saw that one. I like Watch Mojo. It's a fun YouTube channel for us to do top 10 lists. And they put out like new lists every single day, like 3 a week or 3 a day, excuse me. It's a lot. But, it's just like things that wouldn't fly in today's political, socio-political, economic, racial culture, right? That one probably wouldn't fly, honestly. It was done back in the 90s. But it's, for its time, with all of our insensitivities. But humor and comedies never been one to take into account people's sensitivities. So. But should it? There's a line.
So in general, how's everybody doing? I feel like I'm trying to be more intentional about asking that question since it's so easy to give a not helpful answer to.
James Kaiser says classic Farley, so he's good. Andy binged it on very familiar. He said he binged the Tiger Show on Sunday. I'm on 3. I think I'm on the 3rd episode. I fell into it, not purposely, but I did. I don't know how that happens. Like I randomly, accidentally hit play.
It is just. I mean, I was so sucked in so immediately.
So you're done. You finished it. You watched it?
I finished it. I started Saturday morning and finished it Sunday morning. And the only reason why I didn't finish it Saturday night was because I fell asleep watching the penultimate episode. So I was trying to binge it and failed miserably.
Good on you. Chris, I think I told you I've been watching Arrested Development again recently. And again, season 4, some of the best writing of that entire show. If you didn't get through season 4, it's worth going back through. In fact, I think it's. I might have said this last week too. I repeat a lot of the same shit all the time.
All right, we're ready for scores.
All right, your scores after 3 rounds with 1 to go. In 11th place with 6 points is 6 Feet Back. In 10th place with 7 points is Rico's Roughnecks. Anybody can still win, so hang in there. In 9th place with 8 points is The Food in Chris's Beard. Tied in 8th place is Quran Drunk and Everclear with 9 points. Tied in 6th place is Katie from Milwaukee and Homemade Sourdough Starter with 11 points. In 4th place is Drinkers of Beer Inside with 12 points. In 3rd place is That's What She Said, common trivia name, with 13 points. And tied in 1st place right now with 1 round to go is Rose Apothecary and Kwake Serpi Niku. A good Saturday Night Live line. Those teams both have 14 points. It's a close game. It's anyone's game, especially as we go into round 4, which Chris is going to host. So, Chris, take it away, and then we will go through
round 4 in the.
Katie said she's home for the next month with her 3 small children. Does that answer your question? So you've been basically you've taken in all the great classic cinema, I'm assuming. So that's typically what that means, right? And Chris Nelson is enjoying the British baking show, which Chris, I don't know if this is new for you, but it's a great show. I've watched I think every single season. Good on you. You will get fatter just because you'll start baking stuff, and you have the time for it.
Here we go. As we go into round 4, little primer.
This is Jeff Hardy, introducing today's contestants.
a director of semantic technology from Charlottesville, Virginia, Jeff. An IT manager from Sharon, Massachusetts, Jeff. And our returning champion, a bakery owner from Knoxville, Tennessee, Jeff, whose one-day cash winnings total $8,100.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our show. Good champion in Jeff. And Jeff, happy to welcome you to our program as well. Here are the categories. First off, Jeff, and Jeff.
Let's try Jeff for 200.
Jeff.
What is Jeff?
Yes.
Jeff for 400.
Jeff.
What is Jeff?
That's right.
Jeff for 600.
Jeff.
What is San Francisco?
No, Jeff.
What is Jeff?
Right again.
Jeff for 1,000.
Jeff. And that would be Jeff.
All right.
Hope that got everybody pumped for our kind of Jeopardy here. Okay, to kind of recap, each answer is worth 4 points. If you're not confident in your answer, you may wager 0, but please do include, it actually is required, a wager for every answer. If you don't know and you want to wager 0, feel free to put in a joke answer, something that'll make us laugh. But keep in mind, every answer could be worth as many as 4 points, or if you get it wrong and wager the maximum -4 against your total for the round.
I don't think it's wagering on this. Is that right? Or did you do the form as wagering?
Yeah, the form.
I did 0 and 4.
0 and 4. Got it. Perfect.
0 and 4.
Great. All right.
4, huh?
Any more explanation before we
Just
get
all
into
what
it?
we did. Changing all the rules.
Let's do it.
Changing all the rules. Chris looking great, though. I like that haircut, by the way. Looking really nice.
Okay, so it is April Fool's. Taking a cue from that, all of the questions in this round are related to practical jokes of some form or another. So, kicking off, number 1. One of these was, I say perhaps apocryphally, it's probably almost definitely an apocryphal story, used by the CIA in an attempted assassination of Fidel Castro. So go ahead and write in what that object was. I'm going to hide my haircut. I feel like I'm giving too much away. This is how I will hold all of my Zoom meetings.
Good job, man. Seriously, I'm not being facetious.
No, I know you were, and I feel bashful about it.
Oh, come on.
Oh, come on.
You just have a professional barber critiquing you.
I said he looked good. What
He did look good. He did look good.
Did you notice? But what was Ida's suggestion though? Please don't cut your own hair.
Yeah.
Don't cut.
After I'd already
don't
burned
color.
my ships.
Sick burn.
Luckily, we're all real low def here.
As a reminder, for each answer, wager 0 or wager 4. And if you do wager 4 and get it wrong, that will be used against you in the court of law.
Ooh, Scott Wolf.
Let's move on to number 2.
Oh.
Okay, so this is related to the phenomenon of toilet papering, which admittedly is unthinkable now in our current climate. But throwing toilet paper at a screen is a customary bit of audience participation during screenings of this cult classic film. Great Scott!
Yeah.
Is it?
Isn't a toilet paper gun? Have you ever seen one of those? Doesn't that seem so, like...
So what's the thinking process going on here, Joe, I and Russ?
You ever seen a toilet paper gun? One's like, it's basically like a leaf
A
blower.
gun?
It's like a leaf blower with a toilet paper roll attached to the front. It just like streams it. You ever seen that? No?
It's so wasteful. Why would anyone
know.
do that with the world's most precious natural resource?
As predicted, bidet sales have spiked.
I will proudly say that I found toilet paper on Sunday morning, and I felt like I had conquered the world. It was after like 6 straight trips without finding any. So of course I bought every roll. Fuck everyone else.
Good on you. Good on you.
Mm-hmm.
People just cleared out of the way because like this guy just looks like he needs it.
It is surprising to me that I didn't see signage everywhere that's like you may not take more than 8 rolls, 9 rolls a person. Like how is that not?
Costco is limiting that, which is weird, right? Costco is the place of zero limitation. It's just like,
but maybe that's where like the impulse is at its worst.
Oh, it's the apotheosis of just of pure exceptionalism and consumerism.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. I don't know why I said exceptionalism, but
All right. Question number 3 in April Fooled. This is how, if you ever to find yourself in a Chinese finger trap, this is how you break out of it. And interesting, this is also what makes that Chinese finger trap such an inviting metaphor for psychotherapists to use. Feel free to use it in your own lives. Have you ever used one? I don't think I've ever actually been inside a Chinese finger trap.
I have.
Yeah?
Yeah. They're great. They're great.
Did you do some contemplation, some silent meditation?
I didn't do anything for like 3 days. It sucked.
You were you were playing the scenario out in your head, trying to figure out what the solution was.
That's right.
Well, you obviously at one point like ate through the Chinese finger trap. I'm not sure how you broke out, but kudos to you.
How did I get out?
Maybe a dog helped you escape.
It'd be amazing if you just brought your fingers up to the screen, Russ, and you were in one right now.
This whole time. Sadly, no. Those are sold out too. I can't find toilet paper or Chinese finger traps. Ridiculous.
That was good. Those are sold out.
Let's do April Fool number 4. Who is this disguise, which you may see at your local gag shop, named after? And I want a first and last name because I don't think there's much of a hint, but of course there are multiple people that would share this last name.
Yeah, that's right. Gosh, I haven't seen one of those in person in a long time.
I wonder, has anyone tried to figure out if that would be antiseptic enough to wear in public? Because it would cover your nose, so maybe it would slow transmission of COVID-19.
Oh, this guy would be having a field day with this stuff now.
I mean, that with a mask, right, would probably work pretty well.
Yeah.
I got recently, it was inspired. I was naming some of my Strava rides. If you're a cyclist or skier or anybody who uses Strava, I was looking at, this is just nonsense, but Sufjan Stevens has the longest, most ridiculous names to songs. I think it's just I'm gonna start naming things and maybe even subject lines in email, for emails for work. Be like, hey, it's meet about this thing, or because he puts these long names in there. Anyway, consider that. Look at the Sufjan Stevens album, look at the names of the titles of the songs, and consider making titles to your emails or other things those way. Because they're more interesting that way.
Yeah. Has anyone else seen their greetings and closings and work emails go progressively more emotional? I really do hope this email finds you well. I know I've said that in the past, but stay safe, stay sane, and all kinds of things. And by the way, I'm wondering if you could confirm this question for me while you're still not exposing yourself to a potentially lethal virus.
They have been that way.
Yeah.
If they're earnest, then by all means, right? That's I don't know. I have a tendency to be suspicious of people's well wishes. Don't well wish me.
They're all genuine now, though. Okay. So for April Fool number 5, I want you to tell me which of the following is not true. You got a multiple choice on your answer sheet, so just fill in A, B, C, or D. It's all about whoopee cushions. Number 1, or A, they inspired Whoopi Goldberg's stage name. B, they were used at least, maybe not in the modern form, but used at least as far back as the medieval period by court jesters. Plausible? True? You tell me. C, the extreme or irrational fear of whoopee cushions is called nomophobia. Or D, when packaged and sold in the 1920s, the beginning of the modern era, for those of us who are whoopee cushion aficionados, they were originally known as poo-poo cushions or boop-boop-a-doops.
Oh, is that a giveaway?
There's a lot to think about.
That's really good.
I'm gonna leave. Let's leave it on this one for a little while, because I don't know. I don't know how this strikes any of you guys, but there's a rich history to whoopee cushions. Let's just say that.
Rich.
And Goldberg.
Hey, the most surprising thing about this, she's not Jewish. What's up with that?
What's up with that?
Yeah.
Let's
Unbelievable.
ask Ted Danson.
Ball.
I bet whoopee cushions are still in stock. I bet if I put in like an Amazon fresh order, I could get a whoopee cushion by tomorrow.
Amazon fresh. Yeah, you can get this on Prime.
I would think. That's not one of those I'm gonna I can get this next week for some Amazon credit. Like, no, I need my whoopee cushion tomorrow.
How long do you think these
I've
stay
practically
inflated?
playing my dog.
Like you blow up a whoopee cushion, like if you come back tomorrow, you think it's deflated or do you think it's still holding air?
I think it's all about based on who manufactured it.
Is there a name brand in whoopee cushion technology, Russ?
Yeah, it's Whoopi.
Wait, are whoopee cushions like Kleenex and Q-tips?
Oh,
It's like
she was like in the
trademark
business, you think, and she went from there, and I don't know, she's like from a family that's been old whoopee cushion money. Is that your guess?
I like just the term old whoopee cushion money. So let's just keep it at that. No more
You
guessing.
don't nouveau whoopee cushion money. That's for
I
sure.
want these new whoopee cushion money.
Okay, let's do number 6. Again, we'll go back through these, give you guys a chance. But Russ, I want to ask: is your refrigerator running?
Yeah, I think so.
You better go catch it.
Oh,
Yeah. So
I nearly.
never heard that before, did you? That's
I
unique.
haven't, but I nearly brought a snare drum and a cymbal upstairs today for this purpose.
So the companion joke to that classic bit is the Prince Albert gag. And in this one, Russ, if I may ask for your participation once more,
Yeah.
let's pretend you ran a store and I called you and I said, "Do you have Prince Albert in a can?" And you say yes. Say yes.
Yeah, I do.
Then you better let the poor guy out. So I want to ask, what is Prince Albert in a can?
There you go.
Feel free to spend the next 30 seconds to, up to 5 minutes laughing at either one of those jokes.
Here's another one for you. A lot of people talk about masturbating to the Sears catalog when they were younger. But I'm a lot older than that. Back in my day, we actually had to go to Sears to whack off.
Okay, so we're going to go over these. We'll turn up the music a little bit.
Oh, it's good.
Think about all these. Send in your answer sheets when you're confident.
Oh,
This is the Prince version.
little Prince Tiffany. Debbie,
Mind grading
Deborah.
wrong?
Deborah. Is that a 30 Rock joke?
Actually, it was from Never Stop Stopping. It was from, which is the Lonely Island, the pop star film.
I love that movie.
Yeah, it was. What was her name? It's
Maya Rudolph.
Maya
Yeah,
Rudolph.
I remember now.
He's like, yeah, it's Deborah. Where does that come from? What's the root of etymology? He doesn't say that word, but and she's like, Deborah. Great. Plus, classic Maya Rudolph,
Who is this?
This is Prince.
Oh, I just
Have you heard of him?
Excuse me.
I don't know why I keep leaning into the microphone. I want to show off. I think Russ and I both have great microphones, and Joe and Ida should feel bad that they don't have something like this.
Yeah, very inferior.
We have a full lighting system, so
It doesn't matter.
Also, did you all notice Joe's name on that stupid video?
I thought I
Of
changed
him.
it, and it just went right back.
Keep talking, Joe. Actually, this means he just makes money, which is good. So, props to you. But
I
still.
do like that Russ has been like trying to get us to like use a dress code and look presentable, and then I'm just like, I look how I feel, and I said earlier, there's like an emotional honesty in how I look because this is me now every day. So this is what we're going with.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, with that haircut, you're looking great, man. Seriously. And Joe, you look great. Ida, you're always beautiful. So, but
Yeah.
I did say there's a dress code, and I'm the guy wearing a T-shirt and a hat. So I'm the one that brought this up. Joe and Ida bring it every time, but they just want to show off how damn beautiful they are. Because honestly, both of you are beautiful.
It's frustrating.
In every single
Frustrating
way.
how
That's really sweet. Yeah.
circle.
well, I look more and more like the Emperor from Star Wars every day.
Right. Also, with that 14er talk earlier, I see Chris over your right shoulder. You have the poster for the 14ers. I have the same one in my garage actually above the workbench.
Do you really? Yeah.
Tallest
Like-
mountain in Colorado. Go.
Albert.
Right. Second tallest.
Second tallest is Harvard, and then third is Massive. I think I remember those three.
By 1 foot.
I swapped them?
14, 421.
Been
Been to
that's
the top of
frustrating.
both of those with you, sir.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Now
one of those
three is not a success no matter what happens here. I like the comment from Chris Nelson here that Joe has Ida. He doesn't need a cool looking mic.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, thanks, Mom.
Yeah, this mic is making up for something.
Yeah, compensation mics.
So we're getting to the
Porsche
end of this
911
round, so
mics.
please do get in your answers. We're going to go over the answers for April Fool here in just a second. So you've got a couple, let's say 60 seconds counting clock down. Get those in.
Chris, we're going to have you do round 4 scoring. So we've sent you the scores. You're going to finally tabulate it.
Yeah. Do you want me to just send back scores for you?
No,
No. You just do the scores. We sent you the current standings. You just take it from here.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Put it all together.
Hold on.
Russ, you working from home?
Yeah. Yep. It is the season.
Yeah. So, like,
You would never guess, though, based on how sterile my office is. Again, if anybody from Alteryx is on, welcome.
oh, you think you have coworkers?
I don't know. Maybe.
So think about it in the future when they do this time in movies. There's going to be a song that they associate to this. Like every time you see a movie from the 70s, it's got like Jimi Hendrix playing, right? Or the 80s, it's Flock of Seagulls. Who are they going to play? Like in a movie 30 years in the future, when they do this, what song are they going to play?
Joe, the music was contending with you at the end of your statement there, so I lost the last part of it. Also, Katie Kuick, not Couric, Katie Kuick. Off topic, my daughter's name is Ida.
I know. I just replied. I asked how old she was. I said she must be like the youngest Ida because I think it was me, and now it's this little girl probably.
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
Okay.
that's wild.
Well, let's go through the answers, shall we?
Michelle.
Shall we?
We'll go full screen.
Oh, baby. And it's not round 2. Do not at us. Okay. So, the story seems to be apocryphal, but, for purposes of this trivia round, let's pretend it's 100% true. What was maybe used in a failed CIA assassination attempt of Fidel Castro? That was... Are you clicking?
Oops.
There we go. Exploding cigar. A gag gift that's been around for ages. Apparently, there's a story about, Ulysses X Grant giving a gift of one of those to somebody. Just crazy. Spoiler alert, Castro lived. April Fool number 2. What film, cult classic screenings, does toilet paper play a part in the bit of audience participation? Great Scott, I hope they didn't throw too many people off. I know that is used in Back to the Future prominently, which appeared elsewhere, but this is actually the Rocky Horror Picture Show. There's a character named Dr. Everett Scott, and so people would traditionally throw rolls of Scott toilet paper back when it didn't cost, its weight in gold at the screen for just anyone to take and not wait for hours on end at a grocery store. So there you go.
And newspapers. Who has a newspaper anymore as well?
Well, that's the only way you get your news, right? I mean, how else are
really.
you guys staying in touch?
Yeah.
What? Watching the press conferences from the White House? I think not. Okay. April Fool number 3. This is what Russ was, pondering over for 3 days. How do you break out of a Chinese finger trap? Because he realized the harder you struggle to pull your fingers apart, the tighter it gets. So what you should do is you should just relax. That's the way to break out of a Chinese finger trap.
That's like a metaphor for my entire life, Chris.
If you did something along those lines, we'll give you the points. Don't worry, it doesn't have to be exact. And question number 4. So, again, multiple members of the same family appeared on screen in multiple films, but specifically this is called The Groucho after Groucho Marx. So that's what I'm looking for April Fool number 4. Okay. Now don't click to number 5, but don't show the answer just yet because I got a lot on this one here, Joe. So, I'm curious, does anybody feel confident about their answer for number 5?
Well, it has to be Boop Boop a Doops. Has to be.
Is that your answer?
Yes, that is
what you've
officially
gone
my answer last.
I was wondering if that would, immediately fool people because, that is not the correct answer, despite how insane that sounds to our modern trained ears. So I pulled up a list of other common names used for whoopee cushions. So beyond poo-poo cushions and boop-boop-a-doops, which are both genuine names used in the 1920s. It was a bygone era. I also found the farting bag. That makes sense.
Yeah.
The pudding cushion. Windy blaster. And the raspberry cushion with 2 Z's in raspberry. So, the D is not the correct answer. Those were genuine names used at the onset of the new modern era of whoopee cushions, as us whoopee cushion historians know it. There we go. What is her name? Karen Elaine Johnson did say that it inspired her stage name. And I apologize if you ever want to think of anything else when you see her on The View, but she used to say that when she was coming up in comedy, apparently there were there's no separation from the bathrooms, so it sounded like you were using a whoopee cushion in there, and so apparently that's how she got her name.
Wow.
Good food for thought. And then as for B, there are some stories that like a Roman emperor, even before the medieval period, had used whoopee cushions. I don't find those convincing, but apparently there were some use of pig bladders or something as far back as then. So people found fart noises very entertaining for a long time.
Yeah. Always.
No, they're still pretty entertaining, though. Honestly, to be honest.
Yeah. Does anyone know what nomophobia is? To it, you get an extra point if you write that in as the first team. Let's say in the chat, if you do happen to know what nomophobia is. And then number 6. So the great bit that was not rehearsed between Russ and I about the Prince Albert gag. What is Prince Albert in a can? That is actually a tobacco product.
Oh.
It's pipe tobacco. So you would call up, when you were starved for things to do, you didn't have TikTok. Believe it or not, that did not always exist. You call up your local, drugstore and ask if they had Prince Albert in a can. You'd have a good long laugh about this. So there you go. It's tobacco.
Isn't that also a piercing, though?
Prince Albert in a can? Or just like a Prince Albert?
One of the two. I don't know.
Yeah, you walk up to the
am I right?
and like, ding-a-ling-a-ling, little Prince Albert in a can right there. Yeah.
There you go.
I'm going to go finish grading while these other lovely folks entertain you guys. Be back in a second with the final scores.
All right. I never saw a picture of this tobacco. That's interesting to me.
Which suggests, Joe, that you've seen pictures of everything.
Yeah, well, that's a good question. That's a good point.
You have seen a lot of pictures, though. You have a lot of random books about random things, which I appreciate.
Absolutely do. All right, if the Royals were
it
a
lends
thing...
to your random knowledge of stuff.
Wait, just a second. If the current Royals were a thing, what would they be? Like, Prince Harry would be... what? He put his name on a certain product.
I think it's like a spin on a hairy navel or a fuzzy navel.
Oh, right. And then they get royalties every time.
Like a hairy belly button.
What is a...
No, it'd be Prince Harry in a Canadian.
Oh, good one. Prince Harry in a Canadian. Yeah.
Canadian.
What part?
Canadian.
Canada.
Nobody cares.
Inglewood, it looks like.
Inglewood. I like the rest of it. Chris is playing. What is that? I know that song.
Oh, did anybody happen to see David Byrne last week on SNL? I didn't see it, but I heard it was pretty good.
I didn't, but it would be good. If you haven't watched the best rock documentary ever, Stop Making Sense, of the Talking Heads, toured in like '84, you should totally see it. It's amazing. It's so good. It is the best. Russ, you haven't seen it yet.
I like the sound of that, Joe. I do.
It's really good, man.
I have a good Talking Head story, but I'm not going to share it, though. But
really?
If you are interested in a good Talking Head story, look up the story of Radiohead.
Oh, yeah.
Features that of Stephen Tobolowsky, who plays Ned Ryerson on Groundhog Day. Joe actually was the one, you sent me a podcast of an interview with Ned Ryerson / Stephen Tobolowsky on some podcasts. I listened to it. He talked about his book. I bought the book. I read the book / listened to the book while riding my bike. And that's where I learned the David Byrne Radiohead story. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting, yeah.
Well, the short of it is that the band Radiohead got the name Radiohead because they were inspired by the song from the Talking Heads called Radiohead. Talking Heads song Radiohead was inspired by the real life person Stephen Tobolowsky. Again, he played Ned Ryerson in Groundhog Day. Filmed in Woodstock, Illinois, not Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. Just outside of Chicagoland.
There you go. There you go. Now you said it twice. There you go.
3 times, Joe.
Oh.
3 times.
3 times. I'm behind the curve. Yeah. Also, when people say, I'm learning this, it's hard to learn, it's a steep learning curve. You ever heard that?
I have heard a steep learning curve. Where'd that come from, Joe?
learning, I guess. But it's incorrect when you say it's a steep learning curve. That actually means that it's quick to pick up. If it's
Oh, you're
hard to
right.
pick up and it takes a long time, it's a shallow learning curve. So it's misused. The way we say it is misused.
It's a good point. I'm gonna start being the prick who calls people out on that.
Those of us who are just trying to learn. Huh?
Hey, let me stop you running right there and push up my glasses. Yeah.
That's the millennial bit too. It's like, don't you mean yesterday? It's like, shut up. Just
Shut
because
up,
you're
nerd.
accurate doesn't mean you're interesting. Now get out of my house. Take your EpiPen and get out of my house.
Russ, what's something that you have recently been learning, or you're in the middle of learning right now? That you're like,
Is it a thing or what? Sorry, what is it?
Yeah, like what's one of the most recent things you have picked up?
Oh yeah.
And you're a novice at.
Yeah, that's a good one. Well, so I work for a public company now. Again, if you're from Alteryx on the line, hey, good to see you. And so, as one who delves in the world of product marketing, I am sometimes required to be a spokesperson on behalf of the company. So I've gone through 2 trainings recently with professional speakers on speaking. So if you can't tell by my just eloquent delivery of everything I say, I've been doing some storytelling training. It's really intriguing though. Actually, I find it's really interesting and amazing. Just like little technical devices in which we can use to employ just like good speaking. Monica, I know you're on the call. Gosh, several of you I think maybe on this right now are better at that than I am. So please don't critique me too hard, but I'm learning. Anyways, I went through that training. That was really interesting. So, and then I did storytelling yesterday with this person about how to tell a good story. And, I think we all know these things, but to really put yourself through the exercise of crafting a story about a personal journey of your own is a fascinating way to kind of hone your speaking abilities. So that's been good. Thanks for asking, Joe. How about you? How about you, Ida?
What have I been learning lately? I made a rug. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Wait, say it again.
Oh, I made a rug.
Oh, you made a rug?
Yeah.
You gotta go grab it. Hold it up. Are you talking about a toupee for Joe, or is this a real rug to walk on?
No, I crocheted the surface of it and then stitched it to a backing. So I didn't weave it or anything. But,
Also, incidentally, can you make me a rug for my head?
Yes.
Or can you tattoo something on the back of my my crown?
Yes.
Because it gets too much sun these days, and by these days I mean the last 15 years.
Definitely.
Joe, how about you?
Oh, you've been working on something, right?
Yeah, learning how to code in Python. I've been working on that.
In Python?
Yeah, in Python, yeah.
Good. Also, I work for Alteryx, public company. We have Python tools. Oh, sorry. Obsolete, Joe. Just joking, but we do have Python stuff in there, so that's really cool, man.
Yeah, it's old.
What a pro Scrum Master does, huh?
Okay, that's going to change by next week. I'm
pro
sick of that. That right there. Man.
Oh, man.
Russ, did you screw it? Did you knock over your mic? Your expensive mic?
I did, yeah.
Oh, you know what I did learn how to make this week was tortillas. Surprisingly easy and super delicious.
They're good. Yeah.
Tortillas?
Yeah.
Tortillas.
And is it one of the best things when you go to a Mexican restaurant and you see people whipping out fresh tortillas? It's awesome. So maybe I should do that.
Yeah.
You've inspired me. Who was it here that's watching Flattening the Curve? I just looked it up. Just looking at some comments here. I think Chris Nelson's watching the Great British Bake Off, so we're gonna get ready to
I want to hear if Chris Nelson
bake your ass off.
From the Great. Okay. I don't think so. I'll just kind of mute Chris.
What's that, Joe?
I'm muting Chris right now. Just so we can.
Yeah, might
Yeah,
as well.
it's a little much. Chris is still grading.
Oh, he's back.
There we go.
I'm back.
Chris is back.
We got final
We're
score.
back.
Chris, I'm gonna
And
give
we're
you.
back.
Okay.
I
If you want to share your
can't
screen,
believe
you're welcome to.
I'm a liberal arts major. I still need to use math sometimes. It's frustrating.
Well, you did go to school in New Haven, Connecticut. Is it New Haven?
I don't know. If there's any verifiable proof of that.
That's
Okay.
impressive. Again, he might be single. I don't know. And he looks like he does. Looking good, Chris.
Do I look like I'm single based on this beard?
No, I think that Chris Gombeski is super hot right now.
If you were a Stranger Things character, who would you be? I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna try this screen share. This might be asking too much of me.
I think it's gonna work.
Oh, that's a good question, Joe.
No. It should
Also,
work.
Stranger Things, season 3. What's the name of that little pet that the one kid has? I don't know their kid names. Joe,
I don't know either.
Steven.
Here we go, Chris. We can see your screen now.
Is that showing well? Okay. So we've got the column C is the first 3 rounds. Column D is round 4, and your final score here. We'll start from the bottom and keep going up. We got 6 feet back, finishing up the night with 2 points. Rico's Roughnecks with 7. Homemade Sourdough Starter tied with them at 7. Drinkers of Beers Inside with 8. Quappy Serpy Niku finished up with 16. That's what she said at 17. The food in Chris's beard and a variety of other names throughout the course of the night came down with 20 points. Kitty from Milwaukee at 23. And then we're getting to our top 3 right from here. In third place, Quarren Drunk with 25. Everclaire at 29, which means the winner is Rose Apothecary.
Yay!
Killed it, 20 points in that final round. Rose Apothecary came in with 34 in the last. Congratulations. And to round out the fabulous prizes, Karen Drunk, you will be giving us a suggestion for round 3 next week. And then Everclaire and Rose Apothecary, you guys will walk away with some fabulous Amazon gift cards.
Look at those.
That's the only currency that's still valuable, of course.
Man, Jeopardy is the great equalizer / devastator,
That's
destroyer
right.
of dreams.
All right, Quran Drunk.
Very impressed. Those folks who knew their practical joke history, though.
Put it in the chat for round 3.
No, you got to email us at trebek'ncall@gmail.com, which is in the details of about. If you are one of those 3 teams, you need to email us. Let us know your team name so we can send out prizes and collect round 3 for next week.
Yeah. Email us, and we'll close the loop.
Yeah.
All the details there on the channel page for Trebek'n Call Trivia. So there we go. That was second week in a row. We're going to do this every Wednesday night, certainly through the quarantine, self-isolation, and probably when we get back to normal life, we're going to try to do this right alongside when we do this live at 10 Barrel. So we'll figure that out. But 2 weeks in a row. Thanks for joining, guys.
Are we wrapping?
Yeah, we're wrapping.
Thank you, everybody, so much for taking your Wednesday night. It's been a pleasure to serve and talk to you and all that good stuff. So, we good? And we're back.
Still going.
Still
Chris,
going.
gotta say, I liked you better with the hood. You know, you look like that guy from the R movie instead of the PG movie. There we go. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, man, total creeper.
Yeah.
Total creeper.
Yeah, you got some
Well, if I
superpowers.
drop the video, now you don't even know who's in there. You know, it could be anybody. Apparently I'm in Englewood now? What the hell is going on?
I don't know. It's so, yeah. 847-445-7926. Her name is Sandy. Give her a text anytime. She loves hearing from random people.
Oh, man. Sandy Duncan. Raised
Yeah,
him right.
Sandy Duncan.
That sounds
She was
like
also, if you remember, the Hogan Family. It was Jason Bateman's first sitcom. I think it was Valerie something. She's a pretty popular figure. Valerie, I don't know. She was a big actress back in the 70s and 80s.
Sandy Duncan
It was Valerie's
totally
family.
sounds like
It
a
became
Girl Scout cookie.
the Hogan Family.
Yeah, I'll take I'll get 2 Thin Mints, a Samoas, and a box of Sandy Duncans.
There you go. Yeah. Those are just colloquial. Did you know that Girl Scout cookies, like, is Sandy's, is that a cookie? I think it is.
Yeah, it was like Sandy Smiles or something. The Savannah
Or,
Smiles.
or Savannah Smiles, I think. But yeah, they have different names based on the bakery they come from, and those bakeries all serve different regions of the U.S. So doing trivia, and this has happened before, but if you make trivia questions about Girl Scout cookies, which is pretty typical because it's a very seasonal thing, someone will always call you out. Some insufferable idiot from Minnesota is like, no, they're called this. I'm like, get out of here, Minnesota. No, but you always have to adjust. And I learned it through doing trivia. You learn random stuff. If there's not enough random stuff swirling, you learn more of it by doing trivia. But
Oh man.
take it, Chris.
We got round 3 for next week.
What is it?
Anyone still watching? It's going to be Canada, courtesy of Karen Drunk, a.k.a. Carly Weber.
I'm feeling a lot of
Classic
Terrence.
Carly Weber.
What are the South Park characters from Canada? Terrence and Philip?
Terrence and Phillip.
Terrence and Phillip.
I feel like we just do 6 questions on Terrence and Philip. That's it.
I mean, Justin Trudeau is a character, right? I mean, man.
As
that loves his
As is tradition.
You know that my brother was actually in a voice in the As Is Tradition episode of South Park.
No.
The Royal Wedding, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What voice was he?
He's one of the natives, which is funny because one of them is speaking Navajo and the other one is speaking Lakota, and like neither of them is speaking the same language. And it, like, you know, it's just one of those things that like no one else noticed, right?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Hey, speaking of the native episodes of South Park, was it when Randy, was it like last season when Randy had to prove he was gay or wasn't gay, or
I don't know.
remember this one? Anybody?
No, I didn't see that one.
That's such a terrible. It's the holiday special. That's what it was.
All right, let me see.
280th episode. That's a very funny episode. Anyways,
Integrity.
side
Okay.
note.
Can I share with you guys something that I learned this past weekend?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
we'll
know
consider it.
Why don't you write it in
no
the chat,
one else is
Chris?
listening, right?
All right, so I have
Um,
third place.
You know that group of spring breakers that were interviewed, and that one guy in particular was like, I don't care if I get corona, like, you know, whatever, and they had like the welts on his face.
That guy was red.
Yeah, apparently he's a friend of someone I knew from elementary school. Or sorry, he's the cousin of a friend I went to elementary school with, and he had he shared with the cousin, the young 18-year-old, that he would bring the family to shame if he didn't put out an apology immediately, which is what preceded him contacting a PR professional and crafting a very heartfelt sounding apology that went out this past week. So I like read that apology and was like, oh, that's a bit more robust than most of these are. And that was because an adult had apparently gotten involved to make sure he didn't ruin his like SEO history forever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you look at his name now.
He's already from Southeast Ohio, so I mean,
Yeah.
that guy was screwed going in, right?
Against him from the beginning.
Everything's stacked against him.
Yep.
Yeah.
But anyway,
You're from Southeast Ohio.
I did not know that.
Oh, sorry.
You know, not our finest hour, us Ohioans, but
Are you? Oh, Chris, you're from Ohio. Where are you from?
I'm from Shaker Heights. As I was discussing with some friends, that is the setting of Little Fires. I already forget the title.
Oh, that new one
Reese
with
Reese
Witherspoon.
yeah.
It's set in where I grew up.
Oh.
And Kerry Washington.
I haven't
Right?
watched it.
Me either. I just know that they're in it.
All right, Chris. Best song about Ohio. Is it the Pretenders song? Brass and Pocket?
Slash the cover by.
Way to go,
Oh God, what's it?
Ohio. That one.
I mean, there aren't. It's got to be like either that or that fucking Randy Newman song about the Cuyahoga River being on fire, and that's not a good. That's not a good.
Sing it,
so.
Joe. Take it, Joe.
I'm playing a Fountains of Wayne song. Rest in peace.
Oh my
Adam
gosh, one of those guys died today.
What?
Yeah, 52.
Yeah,
He's young.
from COVID.
Who?
One of the founding
Adam
members of Fountains of
Schlesinger,
Wayne.
lead singer of the Fountains of Wayne, died today from coronavirus complications.
Well, that's a bummer.
Yeah,
Incidentally, Bone Thugs and Harmony, also from Ohio.
they are. They're from Cleveland.
What crossroads do they actually sing of? Do you know? Where's is Shaker Heights by Cleveland, by the way?
Yeah, it's a suburb. It's
Okay, well, that's fair.
All right,
yeah,
Chris,
it's on the.
As long as you're not in the Ohio River Valley, that place is suspect.
all right,
Too much history there.
Chris, big Ohio.
I've seen too many
question.
documentaries.
Ohio, is it overrated or underrated?
Oh God. I mean,
I gotta say it's underrated in my opinion.
no, I
Chris,
think
you're
it's
from
still
there.
overrated. I mean, Cleveland is fine. Everywhere else, though, brings it down a lot.
You heard it here from a former Ohioan.
We all knew that.
It's Columbus is nice, Cleveland is nice, Cincinnati is just
You know what? Do you know what you need to stop
Everywhere else
doing,
is just
though,
elevated.
Chris? You got to tell your people to stop traveling in packs so much. They just all pack together, and it's like it just makes it more insufferable and worse. You're like, you know what? It's like if you're gonna move somewhere, just go be a pioneer. Just don't bring your Ohio life with you. I don't know. I sound like a jerk, I know, but I just know
Makes no sense.
it's like they're impenetrable. Like we're an Ohio group. Stay away. We've got our people. It's like fine.
Sorry, just catching up with our winners here.
We got them. Yeah. So we got the second
Do we-
place email already.
Yeah, do we know the second place team? Okay, good.
Yeah, we got them. Still need the
Okay.
first place team to email us so we can get card off to them.
I got them.
Wait, and
Okay.
what's round 3 for next week? What was it? South Park. Great.
Canada.
Oh, Canada. That's right. Oh, Canada.
There's a lot of stuff in mind there.
All right. Best province of Canada. Go.
It's BC, man. It's so easy.
BC. Chris, what do you think?
It's got to be none
Yeah,
of
I
us,
think so.
right?
It's got one of the best cities in the
I'll
world.
have none of it. It's. Can you imagine if we had a state named after a dog? How many people would like they do? Like their province of Labrador. Like if we had a Labradoodle that was right next to Ohio. Like I gotta drive through Labradoodle. It's the worst.
It's cute.
Oh,
But it's
God. It's like
hypoallergenic,
Cherry
so-
Creek North. Might as well rename it to Labrador. Sorry, Camilla, if you're on, I love your dog. I do.
We're like one step away from getting a Labradoodle ourselves, so I'm not smacking it.
You guys are?
Yeah, and we'd be joining the Curtis Park Mafia when we get one because like 4 people on our block have one.
That's it?
What? 4 is like that's the dominant dog of the street.
I realize that, but it
Nuts.
seems a little light. They are good dogs, though. I mean, I'm not going to
Yeah.
lie. I do like me a good Labradoodle, especially
go.
one named Bean. Shout out to Bean.
Bean.
We got to vote. We got to vote for someone who's not on chat. But Carly Weber, who suggested Canada, is the third place winner. Said Nova Scotia, but in reality, British Columbia. So take that for what you want.
Yeah,
That's right.
It's really
That's right.
BC.
Nova Scotia, if you are
Yeah,
a fan of the Trailer Park Boys.
Oh, is that where they're based?
I think so. Also, you mentioned Spring Breakers earlier. I thought you were talking about the Harmony Korine video or movie with Vanessa Hudgens, Selena Gomez, and what's that guy's name? You know,
James Franco.
James Franco. Have you seen that
I've
movie?
not seen that.
Also,
I
you know
don't
what's
watch
better
Vanessa
than all.
Hudgens films after she desecrated her good name with that like TikTok video, though.
Yeah, that's pretty dumb. Harmony Korine, if you want to go into a good YouTube hole, like go look at him and his history on appearing on late night shows. He's banned forever from late night shows. Not forever, but he's been banned for a long time because he has he's a weird dude, man.
Yeah.
But he's if you don't know who that is, he made the movie Kids, which was from 1995. It was a look at New York City's just youth life of teenagers, also about the spread of HIV. My cat's name, Harmonov, that's where he got his name, because in the movie, it's not the greatest genesis of names, but it's a great name, though. Dearly departed, he passed away 2 years ago, R.I.P. Harmonov, but his name came from the movie Kids, so thank you, Harmony, for that.
Oh, I didn't know that, Russ.
Yeah.
I've actually not seen that movie, but I have seen all his interviews on, like, Letterman, and they're crazy.
Yeah. But Letterman's brutal, though, right? I mean, that guy's
he kind of had it out for him.
He did. It was like mean. I felt bad for the guy, honestly. Like, this guy's got some social anxiety / drug problems / something, but he also pushed the limit too.
Yeah.
He's
Chris?
also the director of a movie called Trash Humpers.
What now?
Trash Humpers.
Trash Humpers.
Yeah, you go to IMDb page for Harmony Korine. It's obviously he has Gummo, which is well known, Spring Breakers, Kids, and then Trash Humpers is the fourth one of notoriety, where they do the known for segment on IMDb.
All right.
Are we talking about at this point? If you're still with us, thank you very much.
I think we got the contact information from Team Rose Apothecary now, so that rounds it out. We've got everyone's information, so we can officially start signing off now.
Yeah, thank you for listening to us yammer on about just nonsense and BS.
No, it was good, though.
Also, thank you, 10 Barrel, as always, for providing this good stuff. And again, 10 Barrel is open. I would not be a good steward of 10 Barrel, who does a great job for us, and we try to do a good job for them as well. So thank you for providing some drinks on my side of the house here. But again, they're open. You can get beer there, of course. You can also get it at liquor stores too, but you might as well go there, see some good people. You can also get their food as well. I suggest their giant heaping pile of potato chip nachos with jalapeno, steak, bacon, beer cheese, and regular cheese. It's amazing. Just don't eat it by yourself.
The salt bomb.
If you do, don't tell anybody.
All right. I'm going to sign off now. See you next week, 7:30 Mountain Time. Free trivia. Free for one and all.
I'm going to go fix my hair.
Get a haircut, Chris. Chris, cut your own hair. Get your hair Gumbeski. He's off.
Let him know.
All right.
Bye, everybody. Thanks.
See y'all.
Bye.